Good evening. This is the Sagittarius astrology report for September, done from the perspectives of divine feminine and divine masculine. Its breakdown is it breaks down into, excuse me, I've been doing this all day. It breaks down into the good, the bad, and how to fix that aspect. So this is the divine feminine. So this is what's going to be good during the month of September for the divine feminine, what's going to be bad, or what's just going to be a heavy energy that you're going to have to deal with, and then how to balance that energy. And then you come down here and do the same thing with the divine masculine. What's good, what's going to be heavy or bad, because not always it's going to be bad things, but it's just going to be something that you're really going to have to face. And then again, what's going to be how you can balance it, and then you come here to the center and you have the sacred balance card, which is going to be the overall picture of how you can bring divine feminine and divine masculine into whole being. So this is for Sagittarius, the ninth of 12. This is the 9, and we're going into a 9. So you're basically going to be dealing with a real heavy load of energy. If the Sagittarius is equated to the number 9, that's your karmic lesson. Sagittarius is a fire sign too. But with that 9, I mean, you're dealing with the karmic endings, karmic ties altogether. Not always endings, but just stepping into a karmic lesson, or stepping out of, or just being brought to bear into a karmic lesson, as in, oh, here it is again. Sooner or later, I need to figure this out. Think about the Sagittarius looking at the card. He pretty much got that hunter energy right there. If you think about it, look at him. He's got his bow and arrow. He's hunting. So there's an aggressive energy that can come with it, but it's also, a lot of patience that should be brought to bear from that the Sagittarian energy. He's the highest vibration there is, so, or he or she, no gender intended. But that type of energy right there should carry a lot of patience if they would just not fall prey to their own fires. Think about a hunter, he has to be patient. You get out there and you start making too much noise, you'll never catch your prey. But if you pay attention and move with stealth and diligence, you just might get the reward. So let's see what's going on from the divine feminine aspect. Again, the divine feminine has to deal with the intuition, the creativity. Is pretty much the counter to all the law and order and logic that has taken over this planet. The planet. That is this creative side that just says that the universe is open and here, and this is how you embrace it. You just need to let go. It's almost a flower child type energy, but a whole lot more deeper than that. The divine feminine is the initial balance, and that's where we're trying to get back to by bringing back in all of the traumas and damages that living under the divine masculine or patriarchal energies have given us as not only a people but as a planet. So what's going to be good in September, which is again a 9, for the divine feminine of Sagittarius, is the Dream Walker. And the Dream Walker is, again, it's the zombie card. The Dream Walker is going to you get a chance to see things for what they are. If you look at the card, it deals with dreams, the collective good, and illusions, and it's an 8. It's an abundance card. But again, with 8 being abundance, it can very quickly become overwhelmed. And again, that gets back into the patience of that Sagittarian energy. If you're hunting, trying to come out of this dream state, or in some cases trying to get into the dream state, say you're trying to deal with manifestation, you're trying to bring your dreams into reality, it's going to be dependent on you recognizing when you're doing illusionary type work. Is what you're trying to manifest actually something that's manifestable? If that's not a word, I just created it. And again, you have to, again, looking at the card, it says with the collective good, you do have to be mindful of whether you're trying to do something that is going to be beneficial to all and not just the self. But you also have to understand that your dreams are not going to match off with everyone else's, and this might be that month where your vibrations is feeling so high, and then the month itself is a high vibration. It's time for you to go ahead and hunt for what will bring you closer to your dreams, which in the same sense of this being a zombie card, and out of that zombie-like state. So this applies to like your career right here. This is like, we get up and we do the 9 to 5. They start you at that highest vibration, that 9, and they work you all the way to 5, which is struggle. So they work you from the peak of your energy to where they can control your energy the closest and most. At 5 is manipulation. So they start you, and I've never caught that analogy before in my life, but I see it now. Start you at that 9. You're at your ending of growth. I mean, and I don't mean ending as you can't grow, but I mean that is the peak for your growth of your energy. And they're going to use you and turn you into a zombie until 5 o'clock, and then you're already, ripe for the taking. So be aware of what dream state you're trying to live in. One that's going to be worth going after, or if you're trying to live in this dream state of a zombie life like we have around here, where we think we're subject to our jobs, not only our jobs, but our relationships, our family, our friends. And if you follow me on Facebook, you just see I posted something a little while ago, kind of speaking towards how sometimes our blood family is pretty much, in some sense, they're our prison wardens. And I think that's going to come up later in this reading too. They're here to keep us at a low vibration. But we have this sense of duty because they're blood that we have to take what they give us. But what I'm offering you here is, if somebody, and it does not matter what category they fit into, if they cannot honor your soul and treat you with respect and with growth and all these other qualities that should make you feel better about who you are, that's not your family. And if that doesn't resonate with you, enjoy your prison. That's all I'll say on that. So moving forward, and here's your prison right here. The good thing is you're going to start seeing where you're acting like a zombie and where others are actually treating you like a zombie. The heavy part of the energy of working through that, or the bad for that month, is going to be the word Lord in reverse. It is the manipulator's energy. And again, it's part of the problem is yourself. As a Sagittarius and not having enough patience and basically probably having too much energy in you, you can sometimes fall prey to manipulation. Remember I said earlier about a hunter has to have patience or he'll lose his prey. And so when you set your target and you see where you want to go, but it's not coming quick enough, then that kind of puts you right back to sleep. Now you're walking around dreaming because you haven't put enough energy into gaining patience. And then you'll fall under prey, and you'll start, fall under prey to yourself, because you'll start speaking more towards your ill than you are towards your gains. And then that's when that word Lord, everybody sits here and says, all words are spells. There's truth to that. And not only are the words a spell, your mindset is a spell. Your mindset can have you set up. That's where this word Lord is coming into right here, because it's a 43. 4 and 3, 4 and 3 make 7. 7 in reverse is a lack of awareness, a lack of self-awareness. And it seems like it's coming through miscommunication. Excuse me. Talking too much today. It's through miscommunication, but it's basically by being dishonest with yourself. You need to do more praise work within yourself. Understand that it's a process. Again, that Sagittarian energy requires patience, but you're also a fire. It's hard for a fire to be patient. So if you're impatient with yourself, you will have the tendency to screw yourself over because you just don't think that you're making the gains quick enough. And I saw that deer out there in the woods, but I don't want to keep waiting. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot my shot out of turn. And then the result of that is you end up over here on how you have to try and fix this. Not honoring of the intuition is basically what it's boiling down to, is that self-talk within there. You're not even talking, you're talking yourself right back into sleep. And in the fact that you're talking yourself right back to sleep is the source of manipulation, which means you're going to have to undo that manipulation, and by basically changing your mindset. And that's going to require you to have a little bit more patience with yourself. Just like as a hunter, you have to have patience with everything around you. Your environment is very important. But over here, how you reconcile that energy is the web weaver in reverse. It is understanding the interconnectivity of all things. Just like I just got through saying, you have to have the right amount of cover, you have to have the right amount of daylight, you have to have the right ammunition, and you have to have the right prey. And all that is going to require for you, the hunter, Sagittarian, it's going to require for you to have patience. So the best way that you can get your divine feminine in order is to regain balance. That web weaver is a 4. Even though it's in reverse, this is an offering. Pay attention to the web that you've been weaving. And I'll show you the card so that you see all the writing on it. It speaks towards synchronicity, divine intelligence, and cause and effect. And remember, I just got through saying that if you are not having patience, then you will move out of turn. Moving out of turn can have you out here like a zombie. So then you're down here honoring ego self, which is tied closely into your divine masculine, instead of higher self, which is tied more closely into your divine feminine. So stop manipulating yourself by not honoring your intuition. And the best way you can get out of that is by figuring out what's going on with the divine masculine, which again is going to be tied more into your egoic issues. The first thing that's going to be the good for September from the divine masculine aspect is going to be the prison waif, self-sabotage, and poverty consciousness. Remember, the divine masculine deals with order and logic and pretty much succession type energies. I have to go through all these steps to get to where I want to go. And sometimes in knowing all the steps, you lose patience because I've already seen it, and therefore I want it. That fire energy. So right here, that self-sabotage is a key. It's that 3 and that 1. It's more self-talk that is not meeting its full potential, and therefore it never becomes true balance. 3 and a 1 is a 4. 4 is a balance. 3 is communication. It's the talk with yourself, and it's also the talk with your... I've heard this before. A talk with yourself is a talk with the universe. And there's truth to that. Because just because it does not come out of your mouth does not mean it has not been manifested into existence. It just may not have been manifested into tangible reality. So the prison of your mind can truly screw you up. And there's your self-sabotage. And if you're speaking more towards your eels, like I said earlier, if you're more concerned about what you don't have, that poverty consciousness, then you are worried about what you already know you will have, aka what you want, because that's the way you manifest, is by proclaiming it. If I can see it, I can be it. So from the masculine aspect of trying to make logic of what's going on during September, is you need to break up that self-sabotage. And the heavy energy or the bad that may occur during September is going to be under the high lady of love and compassion. And it's a 1. Your worst enemy, the cause of self-sabotage, is always self. So you're going to have to learn to love yourself a little bit more to understand that, okay, I'm high vibrational as hell, but my fire makes me act like I just pretty much need to be fizzled out. So you need to break it up and come back down here, and you need to teach yourself kindness, and you need to have consideration not only for yourself, but for others. But you also need to have consideration for all of the factors that go into making day-by-day life better. And that gets back into, again, say career, family, life, and love. If all of the components of your daily life are not adding up towards your happiness, then they are pretty much producing your sadness. It becomes a multiplication effect. You're trying to do some addition, but as soon as you run into something that no longer serves and you're holding on to it, you fire sign, you get burnt. So you need to practice a little self-love and have some compassion along the way, because the danger of trying to break the self-sabotage cycle with a fire sign that does not have patience is you're going to point the finger, and your finger is just as good as your arrow. You're a hunter. So you're going to hunt for somebody to take the blame for why I screwed myself over and did all the self-sabotage. That may make you not have good consideration or kindness towards others. And now when you're out here trying to be love for yourself, you're going to lose the component of being love for others. And that will make you selfish, 1. So you need to have some consideration, but you also need to be aware that it does have to be you at the end of the day. But just because you are moving strongly within self does not mean that you need to burn others along the way. Treat people the way they treat you. If they're not treating you correctly, do everything in your power to go ahead and move them out of your energy field. You don't have to have a war with somebody who wants to have a war with you. It's a participation thing. You don't have to show up to everybody's party, whether it's a pity party or a war party. Somebody is doing something that does not fit what you're trying to hunt for, get rid of them. Your service to self should become service, has to take precedence over your service to others. When you continue to serve others, you serve this system. Serving this system only verifies and justifies this matrix. And then you're out here walking around like a damn zombie. So be careful of the webs you weave or the webs you get caught in. And you see how your feminine is already in complement of your masculine. And here in a minute, we'll figure out what's going on in the balance. But once you learn how to start loving yourself and break yourself out of that self-sabotage cycle, the way you can balance this divine masculine aspect is the shadow queen in reverse. Got more homework to do. Thought I did my shadow work in 2017, but evidently I didn't, because I didn't acquire enough knowledge because I still carry enough insecurities to keep me in manipulation. And again, that's that 1 and a 6. That 1 is you didn't see enough of yourself to establish a good foundation, and therefore your self-awareness has taken a hit. So you're going to have to go back and acquire more knowledge. Remember, knowledge is the realm of the divine masculine. It wants information so that it can develop logic. So honor that. Be compassionate in taking in that information. So that shadow queen is an illusion that you're going to have to go back and do more shadow work. You're going to have to sit down and ask the hard questions. If it's easy for you as a hunter, Sagittarian, to go out there and hunt a prey, you may need to, for a few minutes, understand that you are the prey because you have been preyed upon, and so now you need to fix the situation. So you may need to use your own skills as a hunter on yourself. Be your own target and be your own prize. And the best way that you can bring a balance to this divine feminine and divine masculine for this month of September is to understand that you are in a dragon's duel. You're coming into the sense of, okay, I screwed myself over back up here by not having a correct mindset. And now it manifests out here, and now I'm sitting here with a poverty mind. Even if I'm doing good in the financial realm, or even in the love realm, or family realm, if you're doing good, there's some part of you where your fire is not burning as bright as it could be because you're high vibrational in a high vibrational month, but yet you're still showing signs of a zombie who is trapped in prison. So then you're sitting here battling in your mind like, well, damn, I thought I did the right things. I thought I had done all the work that I need to do. And as a hunter, it's just like if you waited 4 hours and that deer came running across your sights and you shot your shot and you missed, you're pissed. Because now you pretty much are done wrapped it up for the day because that shot done scared off all other prey. So you're sitting here and you're beating yourself up, inner conflict. Now you got these issues of morality of like, well, how in the hell am I going to come home empty-handed? So am I going to go out here and hurt others as I try and feed my own soul? You know, that word, Lord, the manipulator and the loss of compassion, all those energies, they all need to be brought to bear. And you need to make a conscious choice to understand that it is your responsibility as the high vibrational being you are and the hunter you are is to align all your elements and come into it with clear sight and clear knowing, and don't bring in any illusions, but stop self-sabotaging yourself, because at the end of the day, you're the web. You're in the web, but you just need to make sure, again, with some other signs, I'm saying it again, you need to make sure that you're the spider and not the fly. And the best way to do that is to stop beating yourself up and don't get into this battle with the dragons within. Let the dragons rest. Dragons burn. You're a fire sign. You have the tendency to burn out here. You need to understand when it's safe to burn. If you look at the 23, that's a 5. 5s are not always struggle. Sometimes 5s are just manifestation versus always overt manipulation. In that duel of the dragons, find yourself clear and be clear in how you communicate, and then you'll stay on top of the game. You'll have the dragon as an ally and not as a deterrent and enemy. So that's what I got for you, Sagittarius. Maybe slightly confusing, but at the same time, somebody's going to get it, and that's all I'm shooting for, is for somebody to take a hit of resonance out of this. So peace and wholeness. Stay in the game. Remember, you're high vibrational in a high vibrational month. Endure. Peace and wholeness.